Hello guys and gals, ladies and gents. So this is my first video. I apologize for the lighting and the environment. So I have been needing to create this for a year and a half now. So I'm in like delayed obedience, aka disobedience. Just like all the normal excuses of like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know, blah blah blah, what to talk about. But at the end of the day, I felt the Lord tell me that I needed to create this safe place, safe space of just in time reality and things that I can be transparent and vulnerable with. For multiple reasons, I can see why. One being for me to step back into being vulnerable and transparent, because a lot of healing and encouragement can come from that. Not just for me, but for other people. When you can see, or when you hear other people going through what you're going through, it makes you not feel alone. It makes you not feel crazy, or weird, or whatever, because some things are just not really talked about enough, and I think they should be. Yeah, so this is kind of the introduction video, I guess, to my channel. Hopefully it'll get better over time. I don't really have a script or anything. I just feel like I need to start, because I mean, a year and a half of just like, oh, I don't know. It's like, oh, okay, well, it's time. But anyways, so yeah, I think that right now, being a new mom and a mom to be to another one, and but being like stay at home and, you know, moving across the United States to the other side of the United States, it's been a big transition, and a lot of things have come up in my heart that the Lord has me dealing with him on, and you know, just some forgiving and softening of my heart, and getting back to a place of compassion for others, but also maturity and deeper intimacy with the Lord. And so it can be a lot when you're pouring into your family, but still trying to work on yourself in that depth. So, you know, a lot of sadness and loneliness, but more so of like feeling alone. I was talking to my husband, and, you know, about the differentiation of loneliness and then feeling alone. You know, like the loneliness is like, you know, I wish someone would bring me a coffee, or, you know, check in on me and swing by and, you know, ask me to go to the park or whatever, you know, like to get out of the house, or pretty much read my mind, I guess. But the feeling alone is more like you could be surrounded by people, could be hitting you up all day, and then like you still feel alone, like by yourself. So anyways, obviously, like, I know that I'm not alone, and I am working on trying not to be so led by my emotions, but also having grace. My hormones are kind of all over the place, but it's not something that like is abnormal, I guess you could say, outside of pregnancy. So to me, it's just like heightened feelings. So it's like, okay, well, let's get to the root of this and deal with it. I don't really have like any, references or Bible verses or anything. This is just like me being raw about what I'm going through, and what I feel that the Lord is speaking to me and revealing to me and showing me, in hopes that this will encourage you and make this a safe place for you too, to kind of sit down and be like, okay, like, what is this about? Where does this come from? Why am I going through this? And knowing that you're not alone. And I'm really grateful for some battle buddies that I have in my life, battle sisters or whatever you want to call them. But finding your lady tribe has always been kind of like a desire of mine, because growing up and going through life, I didn't really get along with women too well, and that could be from a number of things, but as I got older, I started to crave those relationships, but those solid relationships, those true and real relationships, and they're hard to come by, in general. Yeah, anyways, I think I'm rambling, which I will probably do a lot on this channel. But yeah, I just want to encourage you guys that, of course you're not alone. But those feelings are real, and they do suck, and they are hard to deal with in the moment. But something I really liked that my friend said the other day was that I asked her how she was doing, and she said, I say that I'm good because I'm battling it. So when she said that, I was like, wow, that's really good, because even though sometimes you may sit there and feel like it's overwhelming and it's overtaking you and it's even messing with you for multiple days, deep down, you don't want to stay there. It's not true, and that if you've dealt with it in the past, you can see the growth, because in the past you probably would have turned a different direction or to another thing. But for me, deep down, it just showed me that, wow, I need the Lord. I need to get my cup filled in that intimate place with Him, in that secret place with Him, because if I'm pouring from a cup and I just try and rely on what source I have, it's not going to last very long. And, I'm not going to be walking in a way of a good attitude and grace and patience and peace and love and all of those things. So it's you can try to do it that way and do it in your flesh and get burnt out and get frustrated and yell and but then it's a spiral of now I feel bad for doing that, now I have shame and I have guilt and I feel like a bad mom, and am I really ready for another kid, and can I do this, and blah blah blah, and then your mind just starts going crazy if you think like me, and then it's just a whole thing that it didn't ever need to become. So anyways, I hope that this is encouraging. No, I know that this is encouraging to someone, and if you can relate, comment below. This channel isn't created to be monetized or to be famous or whatever. This is just something for me to get on here and just kind of share what I'm going through, and I hope that it touches people who are going through the same thing and go, wow, that's awesome, that's exactly word for word, she said it, so she understands, somebody understands, somebody's going through it. And the only way we can know these things is if we're transparent. Nowadays, it's hard to want to be transparent and vulnerable and trusting of other people with your information. But, I know it's better this way. So, anyways, love you guys. Sorry, this was kind of crazy, whatever, but, I'm gonna try and post weekly, and we'll just go from there. So bye.